Hello, good evening. Wow, this is my first live ever on Facebook, and I just realized that I would be an ingrate if I don't improve my commitment to my Facebook family. So I opened a Facebook page. I'm more of an Instagram person, and I have over 400 followers from mostly just posting my content from Instagram, basically. And I realized that those 400 people are real human beings who decided to like my page, follow my page, and interact with my content. And that's why I think I need to give a little bit more, or much more than I've ever given to my Facebook family. And that's why I decided to come live tonight. I'm sorry, I'm coming Nicodemously. I like to pop up surprises on people. So yeah, expect more of that. But another reason why I'm coming at this time, 4 minutes past 10 p.m. At my own zone, is also because it's been quite a busy day. School closed for my children today. One closed on Friday, the other closed today. But yeah, both of them closed school today. And we've been meaning to clear the grass. According to my children, they said it's becoming a forest around our house. So we actually had to take time out to do some gardening work. And I am so blessed. Like, I was speaking to my husband over the phone and I told him that my son was acting like a full-blown man. Like, I'm so blessed to have both of them as my children. Like, I can't take this blessing for granted. And I remember not being particularly excited when I realized I was pregnant for my daughter. I was pregnant with my daughter. I was complaining, like, I'm not done dealing with this boy. He's barely a year old and I'm pregnant. But my husband was like, this is what people are praying for. So you should be grateful, right? And so that just changed my perspective, and I got grateful. And right now, I am so grateful. My gratitude knows no bound. You know, with how the events just went, how I had my 2 children in 2 years. So I can't relate to people who have children with a huge gap between them. I can't relate, but I know some of you can relate. You know, imagine maybe there's a 5-year gap between a brother and a sister, and probably the sister is trying to do the sister is the older one, trying to do her homework, and the brother is just there, being a baby. 5-year gap, let's say maybe 8 and 3 or whatever, and the baby is just there trying to tear the elder one's book, while that one is trying really hard to be serious and concentrate, and the baby just keeps distracting. I can't relate to that, but some of you can actually relate. And that's just like sabotaging the efforts of the older child. The older child is trying to commit to get a homework done, which is not something attractive for children, but the younger one keeps trying to distract the older one, right? And so even for us as women, as moms, sometimes we think we're working very hard to improve on our health, to improve on our lives, to maintain balance, trying to make sure that our lives are a bit more wholesome than it is, despite all that we are going through. Or some things are sabotaging our efforts. Some things are sabotaging our struggle to try to achieve or attain a better life or a healthier life, so to speak. And that's what I've come to speak about tonight. 5 things that are sabotaging your efforts towards having a healthier, more balanced, more vitalized life. Okay? The first on the list is starvation. I know you've heard of women who say things like, I don't even remember that I've not eaten. So people go a whole day with no food. Like, I've forgotten. Or they tell you, I've been so busy all day, I've not even had anything to eat today. And you expect your life to go normally. Can you drive a car without fuel? That's what you're trying to do. Can you drive a car without fuel? So you starving, whatever it is you may call it, as long as you are not fasting, you're not intentionally fasting, you just go for hours without fueling your body, you are sabotaging whatever image or imagination you have of a healthier, more balanced life. Starvation would reduce your energy level because food is fuel. So if there's no fuel to run the body, there'll be low energy level. And so you wonder why you don't have energy. You are just exhausted. You're tired because you need to eat regularly. Feed yourself regularly. Take it seriously. Eating is not, they say eat, you need to eat to live well. You need to eat to sustain life. So be intentional about it. Don't see it as a nice to have, like an option. Hello, good evening. Thanks for joining me. Don't see that as an option to say, well, if I get to eat, fine. It's not for pleasure. Eating is a critical part of your sustenance. So if you want to sustain life, you must eat. So one thing that is sabotaging your journey to wellness, to health, is starvation, especially as moms. Stop starving yourself. Stop forgetting to eat. Stop failing to plan what you're going to eat. It is very important. And that leads to the second point, which is gluttony. And there are different sides to this. So the second thing that is sabotaging your journey to being healthy or being balanced or being wholesome is overeating or gluttony. So as a fallout of probably starving yourself all day, what happens at night? You eat so much because you're like, I've not even eaten today. Do you know that I've gone all day without food? And then you heap the mountain of eba and, soup and plenty because you have not eaten. And so you tend into overeating. And guess what overeating does to you? It puts you at risk of being overweight. Because if you eat that late, that much, you are at risk of being overweight. And not that there's any problem with being overweight, apart from the fact that it opens the door to what we call opportunistic diseases. So the fact that you refuse to manage your weight allows all kinds of funny diseases like diabetes, hypertension, even cancers and all of that to easily pop in because you failed to manage your weight, right? Now, it might not be a fallout of starvation. It might actually be that you're like, I've worked hard today, even though you've eaten regularly all day, but you're like, I've worked too hard today, I need to compensate myself, and you're compensating yourself by overeating. Now, like I said before, food is fuel. So imagine you have a car and you say, because I love this car so much, this car has served me too well, I will not fuel it with normal fuel, petrol. I like to put wine in it because this car has been a fantastic servant to me today. Would you do that? So I need you to view food as fuel, to say, what I'm feeding myself with is fuel for my body. And so I need to feed myself with the appropriate kind of fuel, appropriate quantity of fuel. You will not fill your tank and still keep pouring the fuel just because the car has been good to you. So the fact that your body has served you well, the fact that your body has been an amazing, tool for you through the day, does not mean you should overpump it with food. Gluttony is not a form of self-care. Gluttony is not a form of self-care. Okay? So first thing that is probably sabotaging your journey to health and wellness is starvation. The second thing is overeating or gluttony. Thank you, MNX. Thanks I'm glad you're enjoying it. The third thing is lack of boundaries. And like I said, particularly for moms, this is very common. We don't know how to say no. We are yes people. So at work, at home, in church, everywhere we go, we're saying yes. We are stretched to bits because we don't have the ability to say no. This is not an insult, but it's the truth. Only a fool says yes to everything. Only a fool says yes to everything. So you cannot be a yes person. You need to learn to manage your energy, your time, your resources. These things are limited resources that must be well managed. So you cannot be a yes person. You cannot say yes to everybody. Everybody will not like you, even if you say yes to everybody. Some people are angry that you're saying yes to everybody. So don't try to please anybody or make anybody happy at the detriment of your own health. The vehicle to your goals, to your aspirations, to your dream is your body. So you need to manage it well. Don't overuse it trying to people please. Okay? So don't be a yeser person. Learn to say no. Because saying yes all the time gets you tired and exhausted. You're drained. And you're wondering why you're stressed and overwhelmed. Because you're always saying yes to people. Learn to say no. Saying yes without boundaries is also builds resentment. That's why sometimes you wake up in the morning and we don't want to go to work. Because you know that they will overuse you. Because you don't know how to say no. You know. So you're already angry once you're waking up in the morning. And all these negative emotions. I'd just like to mention here that when we talk about your health, we're not talking about the absence of malaria or typhoid alone. We're not talking about the absence of hypertension or diabetes alone. Your health is your physical, your mental, and your social well-being. And so if your mental or emotional side is affected, it might begin to reflect in physical symptoms. So you're wondering where this throbbing headache is coming from. You can't get that headache away. It might be something from your emotions. It might be built up anger, built up resentments from you just being angry at people, not understanding that they should not send you every errand. But you too, you need to learn to manage your boundaries. You need to learn to communicate your boundaries. Learn to say no, because it might become physical diseases in your body if you keep overstretching yourself in that manner. Okay? And like I mentioned earlier, you're not managing your resources well if you're saying yes to everybody. You have only 24 hours in a day. If you spend all of it saying yes to people, what time would you have to do the things that really matter to you? What time? So it's important to learn to say no, okay? Because your time, your energy, these are limited resources, right? Some people cannot say no to people who ask them to. Somebody's asking you to borrow them money. You don't have. You'd rather give them the money that is meant for maybe that you should have used to feed your body. And then you rather starve because you want to say yes to people. I'm not saying that there won't be times when you sacrifice. The point is, there should be boundaries. Don't be a yes person all the time. Only a fool says yes all the time. Only a fool says yes all the time. Okay? So 3 things that I've shared so far that are probably sabotaging you on your journey to health is starvation, gluttony or overeating, and lack of boundaries. Okay? The 4th thing is no self-compassion. This is also another disease of moms, women. We are too hard on ourselves. We're too strict with ourselves. We make a little mistake, we are already beating ourselves up in our minds. Like, how would you forget that child's water bottle? How would you not give him water to school? How would you not blah, 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 blah? But if it's your husband that made the mistake, you'll say, mistakes happen. Or if it's somebody else, mistakes happen. It's okay. It's all right. You made a mistake. That's fine. No. You also should extend yourself that amount of grace. When women, we are natural empaths. We empathize with people. We sympathize with people. Sympathize with yourself too. Empathize with yourself. Extend yourself some grace. Like, I am only human. I made a mistake. That's fine. Maybe you set a goal to say, I want to exercise every day, and you end up not exercising every day. It's fine. Extend yourself some grace. Pity yourself too and say, you're a human being. You didn't meet up with that goal. We move again tomorrow. We try better next time. Do you understand it now? So don't be too hard on yourself, because if you are not kind to yourself, you cannot care for yourself. If you don't show yourself kindness, you will find it difficult to care for yourself. You know, sometimes you make a mistake and you are so angry with yourself that you feel like you should even starve yourself. Those things are sabotaging your journey to being healthy. Those things are sabotaging your desire for a healthier life. You're seeing people who are living fit farm lives and you're like, I wish this was me. I wish I was enjoying this kind of life. I wish I was living this kind of life. You can, but you need to identify the things that are sabotaging that desire, and lack of self-compassion is one of it. So learn from this moment onwards to extend yourself some grace. Pity yourself, okay? Just overlook mistakes that you make yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself, okay? Because it shows that you are not kind to yourself, and you need to be kind to yourself to care for yourself, okay? Good. So moving on to the 5th point, that is neglect. Neglect. Women, moms, we neglect ourselves. We want to care for everybody else but ourselves. First to wake up, last to sleep, never getting any rest, always eating leftovers of everybody, you know. It's not normal. The fact that we've seen our parents do it, our moms do it, the fact that we see our aunts do it, doesn't make it normal. It's abnormal. You need to be whole to take care of other people wholly. Remember I talked about resentment before. A lot of women are harboring resentments in them, and then years down the line you discover that, you know, they're diagnosed with cancer and they're wondering where it's coming from. It's built up resentment because you're angry that nobody is even taking care of you in this family. You're the only one, you know, taking care of the whole family, and nobody sends you. My sister, send yourself. Send yourself. You need to learn to care for yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, nobody will. If you don't show people the example that you deserve to be cared for, nobody will care for you. And you have to model it to them. Stop wearing, you know, go out and shop for yourself. You have the money, you rather buy clothes. The children have more than enough clothes that they will not even wear until they will outgrow the clothes. But you will not buy yourself a simple, nice clothes. You keep neglecting yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, nobody will. And if you don't take care of yourself, you will not be whole to occupy your position as the mother in that house. You will not be whole. We hear stories of women dying untimely, out of being overstretched and overworked, out of neglecting their self-care. You need to care for yourself, because these things are affecting you from being balanced, from being whole. Learn to pay attention to yourself. So I've just shared 5 things that are probably sabotaging your journey to wellness, to wholeness, to vitality. And I'll just recap very quickly. The first is starvation. The second is overeating or gluttony. The third is lack of self-compassion. The fourth is no boundaries. And the fifth is neglect. Which one of these speaks to you? Which one of these would you start working on today? It's very easy to start the work. Don't see it as some insurmountable issue. No, as long as you have identified the problem, it is half solved. So just pick one of those things. It might be, before I started my health journey, all these 5 things, you know, counted. They were things that were sabotaging my own journey. But one at a time, you deal with them. One at a time. It's a lifetime journey. No hurry, no rush. Just pick one thing. Is this starvation? I'm going to be more intentional with planning my meals, with eating the right things, okay? With fueling my body the right way. Just pick one thing, work on it, and watch your life get transformed one step at a time. Life will always throw you baskets. There will always be issues in this life. Even Jesus said it. So that's normal. But you need to, in the middle of that, thrive. You need to, in the midst of that, be balanced, be steady, Be rock solid, irrespective of what's going on around you, because only then can you survive the chaos. And that's why I'm sharing with moms my secret. I won't call it secret anyway, but things that made me get to the point where, even in the midst of my reality of being such a busy career mom, driven mom, with so many things on our plate, I'm still thriving in the midst of all of that. And so that's why I decided to launch my coaching program a few months back. And I recently renamed it to Thrive in Chaos. It's specifically for moms who want to overcome the constant stress and overwhelm, anxiety, lack of energy, lack of motivation that they are currently passing through. Moms who are just dissatisfied with their current life. I'm ready to show them how they can thrive without necessarily changing the situation that they are in. Because sometimes those situations are outside our control. But what you can control is yourself. And so I want to show you how you can master your body, manage your energy, such that you're less stressed, you're more confident, you're unleashing the potential that is within you, and you're thriving in the chaos. So if you are a mom, this program is definitely for you. There's a link in my bio. Go ahead and click on that link and take the next step towards unlocking a healthier, more balanced version of yourself, fit to thrive in the chaos. Click that link right now. This is definitely for you. And guess what? It's just for 5 moms. Because, like I said, my plate is full, but I just want to help 5 moms transform their lives in 6 weeks. So if you're interested in this, or you're committed to changing your life, which you should be, click the link in my bio to take actions right now. You can also lock in your spots. Maybe you're looking at the amounts on that page and you're like, oh, right now, I might not be able to afford that amount, but I'm interested in this. Send me a message and we can lock your spots. Instrumental payment options are also available, right? So that can also be discussed, but I definitely want you to take a decision to change your life. You cannot expect something to change when you don't do anything about it. You need to take actions towards change. And if you knew what to do, you would have done it by now. So if you haven't done it, that means you don't know what to do. Get help. And that's why I'm here, okay? So hop into the Thrive in Chaos coaching program and watch your life get completely transformed. I cannot wait to work with you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you learned a thing or two. Somebody asked a question there. Please, I'm eating beans every day. Is it good? Well, the truth is, for a balanced diet, you need to eat a variety of food options. That's why they encourage that, even your plate should be rainbow colored. So even in eating only, you're not even supposed to eat only beans. There should be, other things there, right? So we know the classes of food. Make sure that that's adequately covered in your diet. You can't just keep eating a particular type of food or a particular class of food every day. That's not healthy. Your meals must be balanced. I hope I answered that question. Thank you, everybody, and good night. I love you.